How I overcame fear. My proven 5-step method. Coming up this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. Yeah, I was scared. How did I overcome it? I'm going to share it with you coming up this morning on the big show. Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. I'm just going to keep talking. Just keep talking, Jimmy. You going to pull me off stage, Jimmy, or what? I'm just going to keep talking during this cold open until Jimmy pulls me off stage. That's it. So when he pulls me off stage, the show officially begins, but I'm just going to keep talking until he says, oh, I got to get the guy off the stage who keeps talking. No, he's not going to do it, so I guess I'll do it myself. See you in a second. Welcome to Mornings in the Lab, where
when something negative comes up.
Building muscle and peace, blood flow.
Nobody is expecting Jon.
If the lady's saying that, you're doing.
Be entertained by fun over here.
How if I slept? Has my sleep been good? Is that?
I'm really scared today. I got a lot of fear coming at you right now because if I'm doing the stutter, I'm gonna get crap from Marty. Oh, who's Marty? Yeah, he's my co-host. He's been hanging out with me for a long time. And Marty sets the bar up here, and Uncle Keith's been pulling the bar down lately because of my tech issues. So if I'm not good right now, I'm just leaving. I'm done. I'm gone from the show because Marty wins. Yeah, true story. Good morning, everybody.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Start the show off well, baby.
Oh, there's our good buddy Christopher Martin right there hanging out, and I'm not stuttering right now. So, nation, I didn't sleep very well last night. I tossed and turned. I was nervous that I was going to get dragged over the coals by my brother, Christopher Martin. But I think I'm okay right now, Marty.
You're good now. You're good
yeah,
now.
baby. Oh, yeah. And over there, we got Jon Andersen sucking on the yellow cigar stick this morning. It's the big show, Friday morning.
What were you nervous about today?
Well, I was nervous, so it's stuttering, because I knew that if I was stuck in stuttering, I was going to get. By the way, nation, we like to drop some bad words on the show here, so I'm just going to say I was going to get shit from Marty. He's like, Bilous, can you not get your
Why
shit?
would you? What would the stutter come from?
So I learned where the stutter came from yesterday. My OBS, some of my technology that powers the show, was stuttering yesterday. So I figured it out during the show. Actually, Johnny, after you left, Jimmy and I did some live stuff on the show, and we were messing around, and I got it sorted out. So I got down here this morning early. Jimmy's like, make sure you get your machine set up. Make sure you refresh your browser. And I was finishing. I was like, I know, because Marty's going to give me shit if I don't get it done. So I got that sorted out, and we're in good shape here, boys. I feel like I'm not stuttering. I got multiple camera angles going on there, and I'm good to go.
Yeah, because Marty and I, we understand how it works. We don't sweat it, but the other people, you can see they get all bent out of shape. You know, they don't like the fact that there's the delay. They try to talk. We all understand that's just the way it goes, especially when we lived through the talk experience where I was a solid 5 seconds behind. The delay was. We broke through the delay. You know what I'm talking about, Mark? The other people on the show are like, they're kind of thrown back by the tech difficulties. We're just kind of like, it's just another day.
That's it.
Yeah, I think Keith needs to do a test run with his internet before the show starts.
I did.
When we're talking and Keith starts going, yeah, then I know there's a delay. I already know there's a delay. Yeah.
What is your provider up there, brother? What is it that you use?
Oh, I'm on the big, who am I on right now? I'm on Shaw Rogers, the big telecom company here. I did a test.
Is it Wi-Fi or is it hardline?
Oh no, I'm plugged in right now. As I came into the show here, I got 1 point. Let's see here.
So you're not Wi-Fi, so you're like hardwired. There shouldn't be anything better than that.
Yeah, I'm hardwired. I'm looking at my screen right now. I'm just clocking in at 1.3 gigabits per second right now. So no, actually, Johnny, where the problem was actually happening was within OBS. Marty, you know OBS? No, you know OBS?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so OBS, it's online broadcast. It's a software that allows me to change cameras. It's a It's an open
Oh
source.
yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So that's what was causing my my machine to stutter over the last few days. So yesterday on the show, after Johnny left, Jimmy and I did some testing. We had some fun with it, and I just I changed some stuff up, and I got it figured out. I sorted it out, and then but I was still nervous because I have my accountability partners, my two brothers from other mothers, so that hold me accountable. So I was walking.
You got two brothers from two American mothers.
That's exactly right. How are you boys today? So Johnny, I got a text. So
real quick on a funny note, Mark, there was a time there was a I can't remember what year it was, probably early 2000s. I was competing a ton on tropical type settings, right? And so we had a 2-week stint for the team world championships, and it was just shy of 12 days. And I was in the sun so much, some of the spectators were asking me if I was black.
I'm not buying that one.
Brother from a different mother. We're actually, I think they were looking at my ass, to be honest. But the bottom line is, but I'm just saying that our brothers from another mother could be closer than we think. Look at that.
Oh my goodness, we're dropping it here.
That's a little reach. That's a little reach there, Johnny.
Listen, man. I don't kill the messenger. I'm just relaying the message, baby.
So Johnny, I got a wonderful text from my brother last night, Marty. He's like, Keith, I might have to miss the show tomorrow. I was like, oh, what's up? He's like, oh, you drink that water, Marty. And he's like, oh, I got some things I got to take care of today. So Johnny, I'm thinking that some pretty monumental life decisions that Marty has to make today. I started just going through my brain about all the things that he'd have to accomplish, Johnny. So I was quite riveted by his comment. And then Johnny, his response, Keith, I got to take care of my truck today. I'm like, what the fuck? I got to take care of my truck. Yeah, I might need to change my headlamps, and I might need to change my oil or something. Tail
light, brake light.
I'm like, Marty, what? At 7 o'clock in the morning, that's when you have to do it? And then he's like, well, maybe I'll come be part of the show, and I'll do it a little later. So thanks, Marty, for hanging out with me and Johnny while you delayed your...
Man, I got a lot to do today, man. Last day of the month, baby. Yeah. I'm busy, baby.
The time, there's got to be a total pull of time sensitivity with your task, brother.
Yes.
You know?
Well, you got to think about it. It's dark in the morning. I'm training.
Yeah.
I'm on the show with you guys. I got to be at the gym, handle a whole bunch of shit. Then I got to drive in traffic on the way back. It's dark by the time I get back. So that's why I was like, that's why I was going to do it in the morning. Hey,
is it? Quick question.
Y'all don't sit in traffic, so y'all ain't going to understand.
Tomorrow is we don't have the show, and I would assume that you probably have different schedules. There will be plenty of sunlight.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in the morning at the I want to go to the DMV in the morning and get this shit out the way because I got to change my registration. So I had to change.
Dude, the DMV is murder, man. Oh God,
see,
is it brutal where you are too?
Yeah. See, now you're doing some digging. Now it makes sense now, Keith.
Well, yeah. So here's what I did, brother. I took because we actually fit into the title nomadic because we were moving around with our homes, right?
Yeah.
And so. I literally, it's totally legal. I register all of our vehicles in South Dakota. I can literally call the DMV and someone picks up, hey, how are you today, Shirley, or whatever her name is. It's just like calling a friend. Hey, yeah, can I pay for my registration? Yeah, you want to do it with a credit card? I just fucking pay for it over the phone and bam, just like that.
I have to.
I get it.
Marty, I got to crack a little bit of a joke. I got to crack some maybe truth within my joke, but I'm going to throw it out there. I got to suspect. As a black man in America with a burnt out taillight, the odds might be against you from time to time. So you're like, I got to get this I got to get this taillight sorted out. And
see what I'm saying?
I'm being serious, actually.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, because there's some asshole that's going to be out there driving. He's like, oh, that guy's got a taillight out. And then he's going to look at you and he's going to profile you. He's like, oh, he's probably a fucking badass. He's some black dude driving around with a fucking taillight.
Hey, you never know.
Wrong, am I?
You never know.
Yeah,
it's happened before.
There's so many skills. There's so many when it comes to kind of getting what you want. So many skills in terms of there's just so many different ways through it. Let me give you a perfect example. When it comes to getting a ticket, shit, I haven't had a ticket in 20 years. I've been pulled over many times, but you got to basically figure out when that person's walking up, who is he? What's his currency, and how do I get him to like me so he lets me go?
Oh, there you go.
Well. I mean, I learned that at a young age, but still,
I bet.
You still don't even want to have to get to the situation and pull them skills out if you don't have
Yes.
to. You know what I mean? So
yes.
that's just
And so, and I bring it up with jest, but as we both know, brother, it's not jest because it's reality in a lot of spaces. And here in Canada, we got the Indigenous folks that will be in the same situation, and you'll have some fucking white cop who will look at an Indigenous guy and say, "Oh, he's probably a fucking bum because he's got a tail out on his car," and he'll give the guy grief for no effing reason because he probably had a bad night.
I say this, man, and I don't subscribe to a lot of stuff, but I subscribe to that. And I even had a situation. I didn't even tell you about it. I had a situation, not too long ago where somebody didn't know my role at the gym because of, I guess, what I look like. So they kind of came off a little disrespectful. So I had to, but I've had that happen.
Well, I'm going to step out on a limb. And say that I've never seen like full, but I've seen a little picture on the inside. I'll go on a limb and say that Marty's vehicle is nice enough.
Yes.
That just with a tail light out, that he's going to overcome whatever stereotype come along with some vehicle that was looking the part of what we're discussing.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Oh yeah, listen,
that's good observation.
My middle name is Overcome. I know y'all ain't know that.
Speaking of overcoming, I dropped. Jimmy and I had a video we wanted to put up on the table here a couple days ago, and I know when you're stuck in traffic, whether it's in Washington or in California, we're looking for ways to overcome the traffic.
So bad.
Here's my segue. So Jimmy has a video for us, which some dude has invented. This is the most ridiculous video ever, but I had to show it because it's so fucking funny. And we've been talking a lot about AI and robots, and I want to continue that theme because it ain't going away. Jimmy's got a video here. Guys, I have a solution for you to cut through the California traffic, Washington traffic. We have a flying car. Jimmy, let's run the video on a true story, flying car. Yeah, we got a video to show you guys of a flying car, which will help eliminate a lot of traffic.
Not deceiving you, that really is a flying car.
Wow.
A US startup recently released this.
Is that two wheels in the middle? Oh no, it's got four. Okay.
Version of its vehicle.
It is actually looks like and functions as the regular car. You can drive most of the way, take off and fly without transition over some kind of a traffic, over an obstacle, over a river, over anything, and then continue driving. Or you can fly all the way in the transition in the biplane mode. You as a driver have a choice of that.
It's hard to tell from the videos if the test flight was manned. When one US broadcaster filmed a demo flight, its reporting team was kept at a distance and didn't see if anyone...
Yeah, so there you go, Jimmy. Here's the flying car, boys. So, the future is upon us. It's so ridiculous. I had to show it to you guys because it looks so dumb. Like
we're in the Jetsons.
The idea of eliminating people sitting in traffic is going to be such a life-changing thing for so many people. An average I would love this. What's the average person spend in traffic commuting every day? God. It's got to be hours.
Well, is it in California? Is it actually, John? I'm serious. Is it like 2.5 hours? I believe I read a stat somewhere that it was over just under 3 hours, 2.75 hours. An average Californian spends in California traffic.
Oh yeah.
I've never ever subscribed to that. I get caught in traffic when my timing is off, but I'm not ever driving from point A to point B on a daily basis during that time. Yeah, so I mean, it's brutal. I'll tell you that. I mean, last time we got snagged in it, it was a 6-lane highway, and we were like stop and go. And I'm sitting there, I'm looking around and going, do people do this shit every day? This is fucking soul crushing right now.
Oh, it's paralyzing. You waste so much time sitting around, right? So. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hey, you're hanging out with Keith, Jon, and Marty here. Mornings and Live with Keith and Friends, the only morning show to help you guys get your ass out of bed, not hit the snooze button. That's Marty over there. That's Jon over there. We got the accountability check-in coming up in a quick minute. And then, boys, I found something that I thought would be kind of fun to talk about this morning before we get into the big discussion at the bottom of the hour. Marty's got to sneak out at the bottom of the hour. But, Johnny, I want to get into a discussion with you at the bottom of the hour on how I overcame fear. And I know you've had fear in your life, and let's have a conversation about that with Jorie. We have Jorie dropping in later. But, boys, I know you both occupy Costco. I know you do, Johnny. I know you do, Marty. I know my family does.
What that? I'm sorry. What was it? Occupy Costco?
Yeah, I know you guys spend time in Costco doing some shopping and picking up groceries.
Never.
You don't go to
delivered.
Oh yeah.
I'll go to the grocery store too.
So
No.
we do too.
We're not bougie like Johnny, man. You know.
So-
and I know Lauren go to the store too.
She does, yeah. We've been recently using some of the Costco delivery stuff because they're pretty convenient. But I have 11 Costco Kirkland products that are actually made by big brands. And maybe Marty, maybe you know a bunch of these, Marty. Maybe you don't. But there's a lot of Costco brands that are actually made by big brands that we buy. And a lot of people don't realize it. Johnny.
Real quick, I don't want to segue away from what we're talking about, but here's a thought that I want to share with everyone. When you go to the store physically, you put a lot of shit in your cart you shouldn't. That's just the way it works.
Oh yeah.
That shit costs you money, costs you time because you're eating the shit, costs you more times. You got to work it off, pay for the fucking delivery fees, and only order what you should. You'll fucking spend less money and you'll actually totally change your environment because you're not filling it up with the shit you're not supposed to have in your house.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
No, I agree. That takes a different level of discipline.
But if you don't go to the store, if you don't go to the store, the hardest discipline is not putting in your car when you're in the store. So don't go to the store. That makes sense. If you pay for the delivery, you don't have to make the decision not to put the fucking Cheetos in the cart.
You right. I give you that.
So
let me ask you this, Johnny.
It's expensive. It's really not expensive if you think about it.
So Johnny, are you admitting that if you went to the store, you possibly might put something in your cart that doesn't belong there?
I admit that it's more challenging to make the right decisions in the store than when you're just telling them what to bring in.
Got you.
So what we do is we make those decisions ahead of time. Like I'm going to make better decisions tonight about tomorrow than I'm going to make fucking first thing in the morning. So I make my decisions tonight. Same type principle. Yeah, but for those of you that think it's too expensive, it's really not. Break it down.
Yeah, it's well, the last thing you want to do is go to the store when you're hungry. Hey, Marty, because you're just making bad choice after bad choice, man. Like bad choice. You might as well.
I'm pretty good with that though. I don't usually do that.
Yeah, you're good with that?
I try to get in and out as quickly as possible.
He wasn't husky like us, brother. Only us huskies have a problem with that.
That's true. That's true. Yeah,
we got the Husky twins, Keith.
Husky Marty, never.
Yeah, that's right. The Husky twins, Keith and Johnny here. Morning live with Keith and friends. Accountability check-in coming up, and then we're gonna come back and talk Costco products, and we're talking about wheelbarrows. Oh, I know I got John and Marty's ears up. Yeah, especially if you're into astrology. This is such a goofy thing, but I want to put it out there because it's funny. So that's why I'm putting it out there. That's my job, is to put funny stuff on the table for us to talk about and laugh about and create conversation around. All right. Accountability check-in. When life blindsides you, you've got two choices. Just two. Two, not three, not four. You got two. If you're in Costco, you might have a lot of choices. But listen, you can resist and stay stuck. You can adapt or level up. Most people freeze when change hits. Listen, I've been one of them. You're like, oh, what do I got to do next? The ones who move forward, they pause, they reflect, and they pivot. Yep, they pivot, baby. And here's how to turn that chaos into your edge. Step one, you got to face it. Ignoring the change is not going to stop. We talk about absolutes. Next Friday is coming regardless if you like it or not. So if you're scared about next Friday, you can choose to face it or you can choose to ignore it. But ignoring it, it's not going to stop it. Step number 2, find the lesson. Every shift reveals gaps, skills, habits, and a mindset. And step 3, build a game plan. Tweak it. Tweak those routines, set the micro goals, and attack. And some new situations are going to expose strengths. Yeah, strengths, Jimmy. Strengths that you didn't even know you had, or weaknesses that you've ignored for too long. The key, small, consistent moves. Tiny wins, attack fast when you stay focused. So adapting, it's not about giving in, it's about getting ahead. Oh, I didn't say getting ahead, I said getting ahead. There's a difference, guy. Get your head out of the gutter. It's first thing in the morning. Come on. Lean in, own the shift, make some change. That's your edge. The ones who adjust, they're the ones who win. So today, as you start your day, as you wrap up this weekly loop and work towards the new loop start next week, ask yourself, are you leaning in? Are you owning the shift? Or are you avoiding it? Choice is yours, guys. I know it is. Accountability check-in this morning on Mornings in Live with Keith and Friends. All right. So listen, if you guys are into astrology, I know I'm not mostly into astrology myself. I don't have a lot of time for whether one's a Pisces, an Aries, a Capricorn, or all that stuff. I know Johnny and Terry talk a little bit about the energy and astrology and so forth, but I just thought that I would throw this on the table here this morning. That if you are a March baby, I'm one coming up to March 1st, and I have a sex position that you should try. Yeah, Marty, exactly. This is a zodiac driven. This is a zodiac driven.
This is literally not where I thought you were going with that
discussion, man. So apparently, Marty, if you're a Pisces or an Aries, this is the month where you want to introduce the wheelbarrow to your partner. Yeah. It's when you sit on the chair or you sit on the bed and you take your partner and you have her go on hands and knees in front of you. Yeah, exactly, Marty. I can see that.
Oh, yeah.
And you hold her like a wheelbarrow. So apparently, if we are into the astrological signs, I know, Johnny, you and Terry talk about this a little bit, this would be a good month to introduce the wheelbarrow to your life. It's suggesting that if you're a March, April baby, that this is the move that's going to be the right one for your astrological sign.
I'm just thinking about the statistics where people only have 5 minutes. I don't see the wheelbarrow any day.
I've been wheelbarrowing.
I've been wheelbarrowing.
I've been doing that.
Oh, of course you can. So there you go, guys. There's your tip this morning. And I got it. So I had an image to throw it out here, but Jimmy could. So Jimmy, I just got a text from Jimmy. His response was, "I can't get it out." Oh, there it is. There it is. There's the image of the wheelbarrow in motion. So there you go.
Oh my God.
There you go, Marty. So if somebody's looking to start their weekend on the right foot, I would introduce the wheelbarrow to your life. Marty, I can see Johnny's taking this in right now. He's just trying to just kind of extrapolate this image and understand how he can fit 5 minutes into this image.
No, see, brother, if you think I'm seeing something new here, all I'm thinking is this is a really fucking weak version of the way I do this shit.
Yeah, I got another way to do it.
Yeah, see, this is like fucking this is
Me and Johnny do it like athletes.
Oh my!
That's the lazy way. I don't know if y'all understand what I'm saying.
My job here is just to laugh this morning on the show. So there you go, guys. Pull the wheelbarrow out and share your experiences with myself, Marty, and John. And drop us in the comments on how you're pulling the wheelbarrow out into your life this weekend. If you are a March or
Amy, look at Amy's comment on the horizontal.
I see Amy coming here. Good morning, Amy Reinhardt. No. Hey, this is the morning show for men where we have conversations here that nobody else is having. So I see you there, Amy. I love it. Amy, got to get you back on here in next door. Obscure Ninja. Yeah, we got the Obscure Ninja here this morning as well. And there we go. Oh, and the Obscure Ninja's like, yes, you got to drop some diamonds on the floor first. There you go. He drops some diamonds on the floor before the young lady goes there. There you go. There you go.
Interesting.
Okay, listen. Costco products that are actually made by big name brands. Now, I'm going to throw these things, you guys, because I find humans get fascinated by this because they're like, oh, why am I spending all the big money on the big brand when it's just made by such and such? Marty, did you know that signature, like foil itself, Kirkland foil is made by Reynolds? So Reynolds, who is like the ultimate foil company in the world, their product is actually, so Kirkland's product is actually made by Reynolds. So if you're gonna go spend,
hold on. So you telling me Kirkland, they're basically outsourcing kind of?
100%. Yeah, absolutely. So
that's smart as fuck.
It would be silly for them to try to set up manufacturing for all of that. All they got to do is just create their own fucking label, negotiate a good deal, and take a little fucking bite at everything coming in.
It's true. Yeah. So a lot of brand name labels, Marty, are made by big suppliers and just relabeled with different things, right? So
that's actually pretty smart.
Cranberry juice, Marty, if you're drinking like Ocean Spray cranberry juice, the Kirkland cranberry juice is actually made by Ocean Spray. So Ocean Spray being the big dog, Kirkland has their made. Now Stearns and Foster, a high level bed in the United States and Canada, like Stearns and Foster, a really pricey bed. Well, Kirkland has a mattress made by Stearns and Foster.
They have everything.
They absolutely do have everything. Yes. Contact lenses that, people are like, oh, I got Kirkland contact lenses. No, they're actually made by Cooper Vision. So you can go buy the Cooper version or you can buy the Kirkland.
Kirkland just basically means you're taking a fucking discount. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. And maybe not even in quality, Johnny, right? Because
no, absolutely not. Well, because, I mean, when it comes down to it, if they bring a bunch of – see, Costco, look at their model. It's about fucking bulk. So they can go to anybody and say, look, sell me a shitload of your stuff at a deal, right? Because I'm going to sell a lot of it, and that's their hustle. So it's the same thing, whether they're doing it with the label of the company. They're probably saying, look, I'll buy 10 million units of your label and give me another 10 with no label. I'll put mine on it. These companies are fucking loving life.
Well, and Marty, if you think about it, to Johnny's point, you got a factory running 24 hours a day. You might not need 24 hours of Ocean Spray cranberry juice running, right? So you're like, okay, we're going to run the factory to make 12 hours on the Ocean Spray side, and we're going to allocate 6 hours to make Marty's cranberry juice out of the same factory, right? So good morning, good time. I see you there, and I see your comment there. Push it real good. Yeah, if you're doing the wheelbarrow this weekend, you might want to push it real good. Exactly it.
But we see this shit all over the place. You even see it with vehicles. You see certain vehicles that are identical, but you got a Ford and a Mazda label. Like, how the fuck do they? It's because they're basically, I don't know which company. I think it's Ford selling the Mazda, or maybe reverse. Fuck, I don't know.
Yeah.
But you said the same exact vehicle, just a different. Ever look at what is it? Toyota Lexus.
Yes. Yeah, 100%. And then to Lauren's point here, Starbucks, her comment is that Kirkland coffee beans are Starbucks. And actually, if you look at the Kirkland coffee pods for Keurig, are actually made by are made by Keurig themselves, right? So I guess the point of this article is that there's a lot of products that we buy that have the big label on them. You might be able to purchase a better equivalent product from Costco that you might enjoy more of, other than the name brand product. Costco's a fascinating company to me, man. Their profits, their business structure, the way that they've grown as a company, they are a widely successful business in North America. You guys spend much time thinking about Costco?
In the very beginning, that's where I kind of like when I discovered protein. Right?
Yeah.
I would literally, it was so perfect. They had these, it was 4-pound sacks of boneless, skinless chicken breasts. So I would go to Costco, I was in my early 20s. Go to Costco, and each week I had I was buying this, and every day I had a 4-pound sack of chicken. Every day I had this. So it was just this perfect way of buying in bulk. And because I was buying in bulk, pretty much every container I had 7 containers of each, because the bulk lasted me a day. It made things, that's where I really learned to streamline my meal prep.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
As a Canadian boy, Costco came late to the party here. So it was, and what was it first? It wasn't Costco. Was it Sam's Wholesale Club? Is that what it was, Johnny? Marty?
I think that's separate. I think that's separate. I think they still got
I don't know which one was first, but I know they're competitors. So I don't think they're owned by the same companies. You're not saying they're owned by the same company, correct?
Yeah, I thought that, or I know Sam's Club. Yeah, because Sam Walton, right? Sam's Club, I think, started out and then Costco. But I know Costco came to Canada later in life. But I know those that love Costco live and swear and die by Costco.
Well, now Walmart's trying to put a move on Amazon and Costco.
Yes,
because their stores are just as fucking big, right?
Yes,
it's actually it's a little bit easier to find your shit because it's actually sorted a little bit better. But they also do the delivery, so it's like they're trying to They're trying to put a move on whether it be through the mail, come pick it up, or come walk around in the store.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, you're hanging out with Keith, Jon, and Marty. We're going to get to the fit tip in a quick second. Marty, before you go, though, I want to drop something for you, brother, because this is important to you, man. This is really important to you. Because I know you're on the market. I know that there's females circling you. I know that you're looking for females. I know it's part of your world, man. You're like, hey, man, because Marty's a catch. Nation, Marty is a catch. He's turning 32 next week. It's funny because Lauren had a comment last week. She's like, or
32.
yesterday, she's like, I feel like Marty's just 25, going to be stuck at 32. There's really no difference because he's just such a right. But Marty, I got something for you, brother. I got something for you, and it is this here. It is the kind of facial hair that women find most attractive in men.
Oh, this will be interesting because I've been switching it up.
I know. So here's what we got, man. Research.
Tell us more about the women. How old are they? Where are they from?
Yeah. Good question. So there was in 2023 an evolution of human behavior set out to prove our point when they showed just under, so it's a smaller sample, but it's still part of our discussion here, just under 500 women and just under 200 heterosexual men, Johnny. And it doesn't have the age here of that demographic, but the results are. So I'm going to make some assumptions here, Johnny, that probably within the maybe 25 to 40 demographic, right?
Yeah. So if they're not telling us, then they're just trying to, they're basically an average take.
Yeah, I agree, right? So researchers have determined, Marty, that the exact, so here it is right here. Heavy stubble is the kind of facial hair that women find most attractive.
The tight shit.
Yeah. So it says here, even better, researchers have determined that the exact length of time your guy needs to achieve the perfect stubble length to attract a woman. So they're talking that it generally takes about 10 days. So what the point of the article is, Marty, so Marty,
that's more stubble than I was thinking.
I was thinking for you, Johnny, maybe different. But Marty, if you're sitting around with about a week and a half's worth of stubble, your odds of getting picked up might go higher. Just saying. So don't shade.
I don't know about that one, man.
No,
I've never heard that.
But here's the thing. I think when it comes down to, you look at a human being like Marty, this one little fucking tip is like giving a goddamn whale a tic tac. It's not going to make a difference in his ecosystem. There's too many other factors swirling around that mean more, because
clean car.
Somewhat the stubble, right, doesn't mean shit compared to what you got in terms of you having your swag and being clever. This is the kind of shit that gets him looking back.
There you go. And as it turns out, Marty, women's preferences for masculine traits, Amy, ears up here, are known to become stronger during the more fertile periods of the menstrual cycle when the benefits of mating with a more masculine partner can be realized. So there you go, Marty. I'm just saying
that's like deep DNA shit right there.
Yeah. Speaking of, just a quick look, so Johnny not going to use the word hate, but I'm just going to make a little rant for a quick little 30 seconds here.
Atta baby.
So
good job.
Hello, America. I love the fact that you're deporting a bunch of illegal aliens and a bunch of illegal folks from your country. But hello, America. We'd like to welcome the fucking Tate brothers to America.
Hold on. What happened?
So they've left Romania, and America's like, yeah, come to America. So the Tate brothers are now landed in America, hanging out in America. So while your country,
that's only because of who the president is.
So apparently he knows.
If it went the other way, that's not happening, bro.
But here's what's ridiculous, man. So they're like, we got to get rid of all the fucking bad dudes from our country, all the bad dudes. But the Tates can come here. Come on, get out of here. Get the Tates out of there. Get the Tates. I got no.
I don't think they're that bad. I think they purposely trigger people. They know what they say and what to do.
I got no time for them.
I think I
got all the time in the world for you, Marty.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's another conversation for another day. We can talk about that.
Get that fit tip going, brother.
Let's get it, man. All right, what's up on my screen right here? Here we go. Yeah, screen was messing up. Jimmy, come on, man. Get it together, Jimmy. No, I'm playing. All right, we got the fitness tip for today. When you hit a plateau, it's not the end of the world. When you hit a plateau, it doesn't mean that you just quit and give up, right? And if you don't know what a plateau is, that's pretty much when you get to a point where you think you're not getting any more results in your fitness journey, just to make that clear. So when this happens, you don't give up. You don't quit the trainer. You don't quit your gym membership or whatever program you're on. What you do is you find your process and you take a deeper look at your details, and that means something needs to change. What kind of things need to change when you hit a plateau? What type of intensity are you working out at in the gym? Are you lifting heavy enough? Are you going at a high enough intensity on your cardio? That'll be the first two things I look at. What else? You could change some things with what you're putting in your body. How much water are you drinking? Oh, I don't know. Well, let's start tracking water, and let's try to drink a gallon. Let's try to drink half a gallon. Let's do 3/4 of a gallon. How much protein are you taking? Oh, I don't know. Well, that chicken breast you had is about 30 grams. You had 2 of those. That's 60. Boom. Let's go from there, and let's track our protein. The point is, there's always something you can do to improve. But the answer is never to stop. The answer is never to give up. The answer is to actually go harder. We need the gym. Whether you're doing a lot, whether you're doing a little, you're going to get the physical and the mental benefits. No need to stop. That's the fitness tip for today.
Martin, CMartyFit. Good job, brother. I like that one today. Good one.
Thanks, man.
All right, you go fix your car.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it, man. Got a lot to do, man.
Lots of love coming at you, brother. I'm happy that you were able to hang out with us this morning. A lot of fun conversation. You go get it, and we'll chat with you over the weekend, all right?
Sounds good, man.
I'm celebrating.
Have a good loop, brother.
I'm celebrating
You
Big
too.
5-3 tomorrow, Marty.
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, what you got going on tomorrow?
Carter's got his big first playoff game tomorrow. I'm pretty excited about that, man. I think they're going to make a big run. He's got a junior hockey career on the corner there, Marty. I've been telling you a little about. He's going after, so we've been having some chats.
Yeah.
And hey, Marty and Johnny have been texting him the last couple of days, just addressing with "Hey, adult." Like not even "What's up, buddy?" Just "Hey, adult," because you're an adult now. I'm done with you, brother. Here's your credit card bill. You're an adult.
You know what's going to happen, brother?
Yeah.
Between 18 and 19.
Yes.
They come back and they basically have this come to Jesus. I remember I did it. Come back and they're like, you know what? I realize now all of this time that you actually knew a lot more than I gave you credit for. That payday's coming. It'll come in the next 12 months.
Oh, that's funny. That's actually funny. Awesome. All right, Amy, we got some comments. Amy, 100%. I'm totally on board with this data. That's fantastic. And then we got Good Time coming in. Yes, DeSantis said the Tates aren't welcome in Florida. I saw that too. He's like, no, we don't want them here. Exactly. So he's like, no, you guys aren't welcome.
They need to just stay over there, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, exactly. All right, Marty's going to go out of here. Me and Johnny are going to do a quick creator spotlight. Just going to shift it up a little bit here. Going to celebrate somebody, and then we're going to get into the conversation around how we overcame fear, and then Jorie Janzen is joining us in after the lifestyle tip.
See you on Monday, man. And happy birthday, Keith.
Have a good loop, brother.
Thanks, brother. Take care of yourself, Marty.
All right, you too.
All right. Let's talk about waste, Johnny. Not the garbage can kind, but the kind that nobody sees. The offices, unused conference rooms, buildings designed for ghosts instead of people. And for decades, companies have been burning cash on space they don't need, just wasting cash everywhere. But here's the crazy part. They didn't even know it because the data didn't exist until one guy who we're going to celebrate, Johnny, changed the game. He just didn't build a company. He built a solution for these companies. He listens, he adapts, he solves the fundamental problem, not just the symptoms. Jimmy, let's get it set up, man. Let's get it set up. Let's enter, Jimmy. Yeah, let's.
What are we doing? Are we listening or watching?
I'm waiting for Jimmy to throw this on the screen here as he's going, I didn't think he was going to do it right now. Yeah, I'm doing it right now.
I hear the music in the background. It's like, well, I'm supposed to be listening to something.
Yeah. Enter Andrew Farah. He's the CEO and co-founder of Density, the company that's turning buildings into intelligent spaces. I'm getting chats from Jimmy going, he's the CEO and founder of Density. His team created cutting-edge people counting technology, real-time privacy first, and designed to make offices smarter, more efficient, and sustainable. But here's what makes Andrew different, Johnny. It's not about ego, it's about impact. He's built Density by staying humble, seeking feedback, and focusing on the problem that actually matters. Before Density, he led 200 plus product development projects, not just to build software, but to engineer real change. Now, his vision is revolutionizing real estate because wasted space isn't just an expense, it's an opportunity. And Andrew, he's making sure companies see it. So Andrew Farah, we are celebrating you this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friend. That's Johnny over there. I'm Keith. We got Jimmy on the buttons. We want to have you on our show. We'd like to have you on our show so you can celebrate somebody in your orbit for our community corner. Creator Spotlight, Mornings in Lab with Keith and Friends, the only morning show for men to get their ass out of bed and hit those big audacious goals. So Andrew, we'd love to have you on the show and celebrate you in the future, my friend. All right, so let's keep it rolling, man. Today, Johnny, I wanted to talk a little bit with you about fear and what fear means and how we overcome fear. And where's my note here? So how I overcame fear, my 5 proven step method. And Jimmy, let's create some content here for a long form.
Is this you personally? Are you talking about, or is this just some sort of a study?
A little bit of both, actually, Johnny. So I took some of my personal experiences and I wrapped it up with some additional knowledge, and I formed a conversation for you and I to kind of go back and forth on. So really, how I overcame fear, and fear is a natural response, right? It protects us, but it can also paralyze us, right? You're scared of something happening. You're like, oh my God, it becomes quite paralyzing. It's something to manage. So Johnny, here's a 5-step method. Here's a 5-step method that I've used, and I believe it's proven to work. Now, this first one is so simple and so basic, yet so hard for most of us to do. Johnny, identify the fear, name it. Like, grab that fear, write it down, face it, stare at it, because fear thrives in the unknown. And when we feel paralyzed, we stop and we don't move forward. So what we have to ask ourselves, and what I've had to do, is look in the mirror and say, so what am I exactly afraid of?
Yeah, break it down, baby.
Yeah. And it takes a great level of awareness and judgment and vulnerability. So I found the first thing for me as a young 50 some odd bucker snapper was just recognizing what I'm scared of and just facing it head on. Johnny, talk about that.
Yeah. I mean, I always just say that, especially when I was younger, I was driven by fear. I was driven by the fact that I was unable to keep up, driven by failure. So the only way I felt better was to work.
Yes.
Because I was in the process of solving the problem, making progress. If I was sitting on my ass, that fear was just fucking chewing me up. And I'm much happier to stay in motion to manage that shit.
Yes.
I still even get it today in terms of like when I'm chomping on a goal or I'm moving forward.
Yeah.
I am a happier person when I make progress every day. If I don't make progress every day, that shit it'll still come get me.
I'm Johnny. I'm right there with you, brother. And that's why I love that we both subscribe to the idea of movement creates momentum, right? Because you keep moving, that momentum is going to catch up somewhere along the way. But once I myself identified what I was scared of, and I often use the idea of running, right? I hate running. I don't know if it's scared, but it's maybe kind of
what running.
I'm not the biggest fan of running. Thank you very much for reframing it for me.
Dislike that stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. So reframing it, Johnny, once I identified it, oh man, I really dislike running. But what I did was Jimmy, you have something up on the horizontal feed there, Jim. You want to take it off there? We have once I identified what I didn't like, I flipped around his corner and I said, what if I succeed? So I'm really not a fan of having to go and run for 30 or 45 minutes because I don't think I can do it. But then you know what happened, Johnny? I did it. And I was like, oh, I actually succeeded at this. What it did is it grew confidence inside of me, and it started to convince my mind what there was no logical reason to be afraid of something. You follow me?
Well, when you get your mind properly trained, because it's trained to look at the shit, it's trained to talk you out of discomfort, right?
Yes.
But once you train your mind to say, okay, this is going to hurt, this is difficult, I don't want to do this, whatever attaches itself, to the task.
Yes.
When you train your mind to look at that task and see the payoff rather than the shit you don't want, the stuff just, you're looking for these things.
Well, and I like that you've gone there because you didn't even know where I'm taking this with you. But what you're saying, Johnny, is take that task and make a micro action out of it. Right. So take that big fear that you have and do something little that moves towards the big fear, which helps you create confidence.
And then along with that, just visualize, okay, look how good I'm going to feel when I'm done with this.
Yes.
And when I was young and I was training, I was way over training, but I thought that's what I needed to do. I would often be in the gym for 3 hours, which was way too much.
Oh,
But I believe that I had to get all of this like huge amount of work done. And that would be sometimes I didn't want to do it. And I would sit there and close my eyes and say, okay, imagine how good you're going to feel when you get this done. And imagine how bad you're going to feel if you don't.
Yes.
And that was all I needed, because I took a quick, and I was in my late teens, 18, 19, when I learned to do this. And once I learned to do that in the gym, I also learned to do that with everything else in my life.
Oh yeah.
Like, okay, this is going to suck, but you visualize how you feel when you do it. Visualize how you feel when you don't. And when you train your mind to see the good, you want to go get it done.
This show is a great example that I like to demonstrate to folks on a daily basis. People are like, how do you do this? How do you and Johnny do a live show every single day? How do you find the confidence to go and speak to a bunch of people? And what I learned early on, especially back when I was in my ICUC days of leading folks behind the camera, in my mind, I'm talking to one person. So when I get on the show every single day, I'm thinking about one person that I'm talking to, like right there, looking at their eyes and talking to them, right? And then that one person turns into 2, turns into 10, turns into 1,000. But if I'm thinking about talking to 1,000 people or 10,000 people, it becomes perhaps daunting. So I'm like, okay, the best way for me to go about this, to overcome my fears, I started my journey doing this show a year and a half ago, or even back when I was doing my ICC leadership thing, Johnny. It was just imagining I was talking to one human. That's it. And then once you connect with that one human and you speak to them like I'm talking to you right now, it becomes really easy. Actually, Johnny, it becomes even easier when you leave the show and I'm by myself. Like I can do this show by myself because I'm talking to one person. That to me is how I overcome that fear with that tactics.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because my methodology is a little different.
Yeah.
I focus on what I need to do.
Okay.
Because if I do what I need to do, it doesn't matter if there's one or there's 10,000.
Yes.
Because I know if I do what I do and I do it well, when it's over, I feel good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I keep it all within, because as soon as my efforts are swayed by the outside, surroundings, then it's easy. Oh, there's only 10 people here. I'll just make it short and sweet.
Yes.
No, you don't leave. I wouldn't leave that feeling good about me.
Exactly.
So when I'm going to do something, I'm going to make sure I'm going to do it well enough that I feel good about my job being well done. And as long as I do that, nothing else matters.
Yeah, no, I love that attitude. I really do. And then the next one that I did to overcome my fear was, and again, we talk about building confidence, Johnny. Repeated actions of winning something builds confidence. Well, it's the same thing with overcoming fear. It's creating a fearless routine. You went to the gym over and over and over, and as you went, that fear faded with exposure. Those habits removed the fear out, and what it did is in place is it created confidence for you. And again, I think sometimes we get so paralyzed, Johnny, as humans. Oh, I'm going to fail. Oh, I'm going to suck. Or I'm not going to be good at this. Where we don't even give ourselves a chance to go and find confidence by succeeding at something. So create that routine knowing you're going to fall over and over and over. And then you're going to be surprised when you actually get up and don't fall. Johnny.
But you remember, remind yourself, not you, people, you're supposed to suck when you're starting.
Yes.
You're supposed to suck. You're gonna fail. These are all things that are part of learning to do something new, getting better, even going from good to great. You're gonna have all this shit. Anytime you're changing, leveling up. So what's the worst that's gonna happen? Live it, own it real quick. Okay, well, fuck, I can deal with that.
That's right. That's right. And then the last one that I did was, and I would encourage any folks that are scared to do something or fighting fear or reluctant to do something, is build that support system. Surround yourself with bold people, right? Because fear thrives in isolation. If you're by yourself, you're going to be fearful. You're going to struggle to gain confidence. So find people that might have some of the same fears you have. Join a community, find friends around you, share your feelings, share your vulnerability, ask for feedback, and watch the magic happen. I would suggest you do this time and time again. That fear you have about achieving something, maybe it's starting a business, maybe Johnny, it's changing your career. Maybe you're like, oh, I'm waking up right now in my mid 40s and I got to do something differently, but I'm scared to do something differently. Good. You should be scared to do something differently. That's okay. That's natural. But you start walking towards that fear, you might find yourself succeeding and building confidence. And after that happens, Johnny, you're off to the races, frankly.
100%. I mean, I think we just have to remember that being uncomfortable is what's going to get us what we want. And leaning into fear is getting uncomfortable.
Yes. Yes.
So when you run to comfort, you're not moving. I shouldn't say 99.9% of people that have some ambition, if you're moving towards comfort, you're not going to get what you want. When you're moving towards being uncomfortable and you stay in that space, it just keeps going. You keep getting better.
That's right. And guys, I invite you to think about this before we get to the lifestyle tip with Johnny, and we bring Jorie Janzen to come in, talk about some food discussion with us. Fear is a signal, guys. It's not a stop sign. Hear me on this one. Jimmy, when we wrap this segment up, fear is a signal. It is not a stop sign. For me personally, I stopped waiting to feel ready. I took action while I was afraid. I created that movement, which created momentum. And that's how I won. That's how I won when I created my previous company. And that's how I believe I'm winning every single day. Some days.
Fear's a motivator. It's a motivator.
100%.
When you lean into fear and you purposely make yourself uncomfortable, you're willing to do the shit you wouldn't do if you're comfortable.
That's right. That's right. All right. Johnny's got a lifestyle tip. When we come back with Jorie Janzen, guys, I got some, we're really working on creating some long form content, stuff for you guys to hang on to. And I'm thinking that as we go into the weekend loop and into next week, there might be men, Johnny, that I know you're a big beef dude. Let's throw some beef dinner ideas on the table for folks to think about. That might be effective, might be financially not too crazy expensive. Let's have a conversation about some food ideas with Jorie coming up in a minute. Johnny, lifestyle tip for you, brother.
When I get my ass kicked, in most cases, I didn't see it coming. Or it was basically one of those things that happened to me without me knowing, without me being willing, because I'm always willing to do what I got to do. But when you get your ass kicked, and it happens constantly, you got to make sure that you are ready to stand up. It's not about how many times you get your ass kicked. It's about how many times you stand up. You're going to go through so many different challenges in life. You name it. It's going to come from every direction. And it's going to feel like you're just not making progress. Every time you try, boom, you get knocked on your ass again. Keep standing up, because one of these times you're going to stand up and everything's going to be different. You're going to get paid. You're going to get what you want. Whatever it is that you've been working towards is going to show up. So remember, all you've got to do is get up one more time than you got knocked down, and your life will change. Just keep getting up. Rock and roll.
Up. If you don't get up, you don't have a choice to succeed. Good advice there, Johnny. What's up, Jorie? How are you today?
I'm great. Oh, I froze.
Are you better today than you? I know Wednesday was a little bit of a scrambly day for you, and I gotta ask, did your day catch up with you on Wednesday? I know the day was like, but did your day catch up with you on Wednesday, Jorie?
It's all good.
Yeah.
It usually ends well.
Right.
It's in the moment, right?
Yes. We had a conversation earlier around what kind of hair women prefer, and I see it on a man's face, because as we know, Jorie, Marty's on the market, man. This handsome, smart, attractive man here is on the market, just trying to give Marty as much advice as possible. And Obscure Ninja comes up with a comment and says, not sure what women love, but the kind they truly hate is some other woman's hair in your face. This is true. So, gentlemen, if you're out there looking for a partner, I would encourage you to, or if you have a partner, you might want to be aware of that. But Jorie, I thought we could have a conversation with you this morning for our men audience. And I told Jimmy, let's make some content around this discussion this morning. Ground beef. Beef is a great source of protein. It doesn't have to be the most expensive protein. I know John's a big fan of ground beef, especially beef in the bag, on his thigh pocket. But I thought we could just kind of have a conversation this morning around some recipe ideas for our men tuning in this morning that are going, oh, I never thought about that. Or, oh, that's a good thing to eat. Or, oh, this is so let's talk a little bit about some protein dishes that, and we've got Scott Benzie coming in with, yes, please, I love beef ideas. So right off the bat here, we got some folks saying, yeah, I kind of like what we're talking about here. But Jorie, let's get into it. Air fryer stuffed peppers.
Yeah. or any kind, stick it in your oven, whatever.
Yeah. Talk about
The air fryer does make it so simple, though. Holy
Yeah.
Toledo.
Yeah, if you have one, fantastic.
Yeah.
Don't let a lack of some equipment
Yes.
stop you from doing that. But
Yes.
absolutely, if you can get some good kitchen equipment, that is time saving, and even just texture wise, it can make a difference too.
Yeah.
I love the idea of one dish meals. So like a stuffed pepper, but just making sure you're getting enough food, right? So like a stuffed pepper is probably not gonna do
Right.
it for a dude, right?
Yeah.
So just keeping that in mind. But yeah, absolutely, I think it could be that and add something to it. So if you're a milk drinker, you can get 8 to 14, depending what milk you drink, grams of protein in a cup of milk, and then your stuffed pepper or two, or whatever you're having. So I think that it totally fits. It's a great idea. And you get your high vitamin C content from the pepper. Why not do that? And anything else that you're adding in, some prebiotics like onions to keep your gut fueled, right? So those one dish options or one stuff-filled vegetable option can do a lot of good for sure.
I know that I have a list of things here I wanted to throw on the table, but Jorie, are there some go-tos that you always will recommend to your clients, or things that you and Kurt and the family eat? Like when it comes to I got to think there are some go-tos that are in your house that you're like, oh yeah, we're having that today, and here's what it is. And let's stay on the beef topic, Jorie. What are some of the things that you guys lean into?
So I like to think of how can you repurpose something. So it's cook once, eat 2-3 times.
Yes.
And so you can cook a bunch of ground beef, for example, and I will make mini meatloaves. So I take my muffin tin out and put everything, the mixture together, and make mini meatloaves. I can freeze them. I can take them out. I can break them up into a salad. I can add a couple to a soup. So you can do a lot of things with something really basic. You can just make some meatballs too if you want to. But, But it sounds fancier when you say mini meatloaves. So I like to do stuff like that. If you're going to make a spaghetti one night, you can also have some leftover. If you're making a soup, maybe a hamburger soup or any sort of vegetable base soup, just throw in a cup of your ground beef and you've got a high protein soup happening. So you can do a lot of things with your ground beef. It doesn't have to be eating spaghetti all week.
100%. And you can, like, for me, I'll take the ground beef and all I'm going to do is just flavor it differently. I'll just cook it with just basic, it'll have a bunch of Celtic salt in it, maybe a little bit of garlic. And then when I pull it out and I dish it up, I can make each meal of ground beef taste differently. And so people that say, I get so tired of eating the same thing. Well, be a little creative.
Yeah. Look up different seasonings and herbs and other dishes that you would typically have, that you would put chicken or eggs or something into. You can absolutely, or it's half the ground beef and half lentils, right? So you can, and it adds a different texture and consistency. And that could be, instead of, egg salad, tuna salad, you have a combination of your ground beef and your lentils, and you mash it all up. And that's going to be your filling for, if you're making wraps or something like that.
Yeah.
I make this Thai peanut sauce. So it's basically a big tablespoon of peanut butter powder, a little bit of soy sauce, a little bit of ginger, a little bit of garlic, and then I'll put just whatever bit of sugar-free maple syrup I need to get it to the texture I'm looking for. And it's basically like this. It's got that Thai peanut essence to it, and I can put that on anything. I can put that on any kind of meat, any kind of vegetable. Shit, I'll put it on my little toe and eat it if I could get that son of a bitch in my mouth.
Let's stay on beef for a few moments, especially ground beef. I want to keep it here today. I'm suspecting there is a reality perception. We think of ground beef as bad because we shouldn't be eating ground beef. It's just too greasy. It's too fatty. And I know that stay away from the processed foods. There's worse things you got to worry about. But the reality is, Jorie, is ground beef. It's so versatile. We can put it into so many different dishes. It can eliminate so many bad choices with the rest of our eating if we stick to just some good old ground beef dishes. Do you know what I'm trying to say, Jorie? Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's very simple. For the most part, it's affordable for most people.
Yes. Yeah.
And so why not incorporate it? And there's different ways. I know John had spoke to this in a previous show, but I mean, you can cook it up and skim off the fat, make your own extra lean ground beef that way if you're worried about the saturated fat, which is the fat that can impact our heart health, right? So you can reduce it simply yourself. And really, extra lean ground beef, calorie wise, is not that much more. Maybe like 80 calories per cup,
Yeah.
depending on what you're looking at, from something like ground chicken, ground turkey.
Yes.
And it keeps that moisture more so because it is a little higher fat compared to being, you have to be a little bit more careful when you're cooking the ground turkey, ground chicken, because they are leaner. So when you have the less fat, then it can be drier and not as flavorful. So you have to really be on top of how you like to flavor food when you're using the leaner meat options.
So give somebody permission to have the ground beef over the ground turkey, because sometimes Scott Benzi's tweeting right now. He's like, "Oh, I got to make sure I have my ground chicken or ground turkey, but I don't love it, so I might not eat as much of it." Give him the permission to have ground beef, because you can, right? It's not going to kill you.
Absolutely. When we're having taco night,
Yes.
my family likes the ground beef with it.
Yes.
Right? There's certain things that, whether it's, your family culture, how you grew up, memories of, right? So ground beef does fit in our household. It doesn't have to be for everybody, but I love the idea is you do have permission. If it's something you enjoy, you have the permission to put that into your regular meal plan.
I'll share something with you guys. I learned. So when I was a young man, I worked in a butcher shop in a grocery store, and I would make ground beef. I would cut beef and so forth. I don't know if the practice still exists today, but I will tell you, back when I was doing this, whatever it was, 20 some odd, 30 years ago, I'm going to date myself now. If you look at the packaging that meat is packaged in, we were taught, and we specifically put the extra lean ground beef in the pink packaging, because it displayed the lean beef better than you put it in the white packaging. So if you notice, you'll have your regular ground beef on a white package because there's more fat in it. To you as the consumer, it psychologically shows you that there's more fat in it, where the lean stuff is typically in the pink or red packaging because it shows the beef much more lean. And that's what we were always instructed. You put your extra lean stuff in the pink packaging, and as it got fattier, you put it in the white or clear stuff, so that the consumer could delineate the difference in value.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Well, they got lots of black packaging now. So where does that fall in?
Well, that falls into the red. So that highlights the leanness, actually, Johnny. So and it's a food trick. I can tell you guys, there were times that we would put the regular ground beef or just the lean ground beef on the red or black packaging because we ran out of the extra lean, but the pricing would still come out as extra lean, because then you as the consumer, you see it on the black or the red, you think that it's lean because it looks leaner. So there's little tricks and tips behind the scenes that I don't know if people are still doing it, but that I know for sure we were doing it back in the olden days. Yeah, true story.
Interesting.
That is
Jorie's
a little disappointing.
I know, Jorie. It's true, because I can tell you,
there's so much messed up shit in the food world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're coloring potatoes. They're putting all sorts of colors and all sorts of shit, so it presents better in the store.
That's exactly right. That's exactly it. So again, we're having this conversation this morning with Jorie around just, guys, as you're tackling your weekend, you're tackling your days. If you're gonna have some pasta, include ground beef with it. Right. If you're going to have rice, include ground beef with it. If you're going to eat, carbohydrates and other vegetables, a good vegetable skillet with ground beef, with some onions and peppers and jalapenos, Benzi. Oh, that's good stuff right there with a bunch of flavoring. That's good food, Jor.
Absolutely. I'll open up, a salad, right? I'll put a salad together and it's like, ground beef, throw it in. It doesn't have to be your typical burger, although I like a burger.
Yes.
But I think it's just creating that versatility, and there's no food that's off limits in terms of where you're headed, preferences, like all of that plays a role, but there's no food that's off limits. you can decide if you want to have ground beef or ground turkey, whatever it is. But there's no shame in enjoying whichever one that you want to incorporate. Both fit. It's okay. And I am still going to include ground beef in my meal plan.
Talk about burgers quickly before you rock and roll out of here, Jor. Where do you fall? Where do you fall in the line of burgers?
I think they're great.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can eat, pasta with, a spaghetti meat dish, you can have a burger, right? And you can decide how you're going to do it. Do you want the whole bun, half a bun, no bun, stick it between some sweet potatoes or some mushrooms? You decide how you want to have that.
Jorie, you agree the burger takes a bad rap because everybody associates the burger with the drive-through.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
I'm glad you said that, Johnny, because Jorie, we both know there's so many great smash type burgers that are literally spices, ground beef, smashed together and fried up. Like it's beef and spices. There's nothing bad with that, guys. But I think to Johnny's point, where we get caught up is all the sauces, all the bun, and Johnny's point about drive-through. We can have good burgers. There's good, healthy burgers that you can eat and not get too caught up in worrying about all the like. If you're living at McDonald's and A&W, different story. But you go get yourself a good, clean smash burger, and maybe you have a gluten-free bun or no bun. That's not a bad choice at all.
Well, my rule of thumb is this: if they're making these things like at a mass scale, that's not where I'm going to get my burger.
Exactly.
Yes. If I'm going to get a burger, it's because I ordered it. Some lady came to my table, I ordered it, and they're making that for me.
Yes.
Because that's a very different burger than if they're, basically prepared to sell 1,000 hamburgers out of that spot for the day.
So, Jorie, I purposely brought this discussion on the table as we wrap it up because I need your permission next, Miss Janzen.
You do have my permission.
But here's what I'm going to ask you. So tonight we're taking Carter out for his 18th, and we're going to 529 Wellington. And so, Johnny, so 529 it's a high-end steakhouse joint here in Winnipeg. Like it's probably, if not it's the high-end joint.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I kind of want like maybe a 529 burger. Jorie, would that be a bad decision?
No, I haven't had it. My husband has. I've never gone to 529.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Work and stuff like that.
Yes.
So I should probably tell him he needs to take me out soon. I absolutely. First of all, permission not even needed. This is someone's special day.
Yes.
Like,
and mine
through everything else, because it's really important to celebrate the people in your world, the really significant people in your world. So it doesn't matter what you're doing, like enjoy the moment.
I love your attitude.
That said, because that place will have quality food.
Yes.
I mean, there is like no issue, like go and enjoy to the fullest. I would say though, just take your time and enjoy the food, like chew the food well, enjoy it, savor it, think of the smells, the taste, the texture, slow yourself down. So that way you can leave feeling comfortable. That's the biggest one. When people leave, they feel overfull, and that's the negative association.
Yeah.
So you can slow down and enjoy
love
it.
that.
Yes.
And here's what I'd say to that, which kind of encapsulates all of what Jorie says and keeps you to make a good decision, is you're not there for the food. You're there to celebrate with your family. The food is just kind of a side note. So don't eat something that's going to make you feel in a way that's going to basically give you a subpar celebration.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Physically, mentally, whatever it is, because maybe some people, if they eat something they're not supposed to mentally, they're not there celebrating the way they should. Other people that eat something physically makes them feel poorly. Now they're doing is thinking about their fucking gut ache rather than the moment. So what's important is the celebration. And as long as you keep the fucking totem pole in line, you'll make the right choice just as a positive side effect.
I listen, I knew that there was a comment coming from the peanut gallery. Jimmy, throw it on screen. Jorie, I knew that when I asked you the question that this was going to come on screen. I knew that Lauren's paying attention. And yes, and Jorie, you've eaten with me before. Keith wolfs food down, so that's great advice. So my goal tonight is to slow down, Johnny. I'm going to be thinking of, I might take a picture of you and put it on the table, Johnny. Just so I can look at your face as I'm chewing, and maybe Jorie yours as well, so I can be thinking about my two friends here, reminding me to slow down, be in the moment, and chew. But here's the problem, guys.
Here's what you do, brother. You sit down at the table.
Yes.
You sit down at the table and you force yourself to count to 100 in your mind. That will put you in a different space. When you get out of the fucking car, start snapping your fucking wrist with your rubber band. Hey, I need to count to 100. Do something that will shake you out of that freaky deaky fucking food mindset at that table, and the game is over.
Yeah. And the other thing too, I tell my clients this all the time, especially athletes, because they travel so much
Yes.
for their games.
Yes.
They're going to eat out. The cool thing about today is that you can go online right now, look at the menu,
Yes.
select it in advance. And so when you go in, you don't even have to open up the menu. You already know what you're ordering.
Yeah.
And I love that. And I go even a step further than that, Jorie. I like to make things ultra simple. I don't even look at the fucking menu. I just sat down and tell a motherfucker what I want.
Jorie, we're going to have dinner with Andersen one day, and it's going to be an experience all in itself. And like, oh, okay, so this is how it works. All right, you're hanging out with Keith, Jorie, and Jon here, mornings in the lab with Keith and friends. Jorie joins us every Monday and Wednesday, always offering great advice, and I love it because folks love to talk about this. And Scott Benzie is, Scotty dropped a comment here, Jorie, which was, actually, here's a quick question for you, Jorie. Do you recommend this? Rinsing the beef off before preparing your meal. Is that being really neurotic, or is that a good strategy you would recommend, Jorie?
It's one strategy. Absolutely. I've cooked up my meat. I've put it into a strainer and rinsed it off and put it back in the pan. Some people will skim off, from the top.
Yeah.
So there's different methods. It's really what works for you. And yes, it's going to seem, as Jon, I loved your Instagram post. It's going to seem extreme to some people, but let it be extreme to some people.
Yes.
You do what you need to do to be healthy, well, and performing the way you want to perform in life.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's the one. This is why I can tell you right now, Jorie. This is why you resonate with our audience. I got Amy coming in with loving heart, Jorie here, and I know Lauren's a big fan, Benzie, because Jorie, not only does Johnny simplify it, but you really make it about the person listening. And what I like about that is that there's not a right or a wrong. It's make it what's best for you for the moment. I love your idea of it's just a moment in time, and you really encourage somebody to make it work for them. And you give them the information, you give them the framework, and you empower somebody to say, okay, here's what it's all about, but what works best for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love the idea that like everyone here with Marty, with Jon, with you, like we will all come in with our perspectives.
Yes.
And that's great because one of our perspectives is going to resonate with someone else on the show.
Exactly.
So no one is right or wrong. We're right for ourselves. And I think that I hope for the listeners that they also take that whatever any of us are saying, it's from our perspective, our experience. Create your own. What works?
They're supposed to be taking a bite from each one of us. So that makes sense to me. Boom, got that one.
Yes.
Okay, that one makes sense. Boom, got that one. And you create your own mantras. You create your own mental ideology of what it's supposed to be. And you own it, and you move forward, and you develop it.
Well, and I'll tell you guys, I'll talk to you from just my quick technical business marketing standpoint in 2025. The conversations we're having right now are the conversations that AI can't produce, right? So when you look at some of the ways that digital marketing is moving forward, AI it will spit out typical generic type advice, but it's these personal experiences that Jorie brings to the table, Johnny brings to the table, I bring to the table, that people resonate and connect with. And that's the future of digital marketing, which is, okay, so I see what Jorie learned about this experience, making a bunch of meat, turning it into little mini this
meat
and
muffins.
this. Exactly, right? So those are things that an AI is not really coming up with unless you prompt it that way. But these personal experiences, that's the value. So, but Jorie, we've kept you way over time. I appreciate you. You get after it today?
Yes, and same with both of you. It's been a pleasure. Love it. And of course, love Lauren. You don't even need to have Jon and I as photos. She'll be there. She'll just kind of tap, slow down.
I don't like my food cold. So that's why I eat it so fast. Because I like my
bro, this is an opportunity for you to get better.
Okay.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah. What does better look like tonight? Right?
I'll report back to you guys on Monday or over the weekend. I'll send you guys some text, or I'll send you a picture tonight at the table as I'm slowly eating my food, thinking about my.
And you remember, you're leading by example. You? What type of example are you leading?
Yeah, I'm thinking about dessert now. Oh,
share one.
That's because you're looking at the fucking menu. That's why you're thinking about dessert.
That's a good one. Love it.
All right, Jorie and Lauren.
Don't look at the fucking menu. You know,
That's
if you're
right,
an alcoholic, if you're an alcoholic, don't look at the fucking wine list.
That's right. That's right. And then Johnny, Lauren knows me. She's like, "Thank you, John. He'll listen to you because she knows I listen to you." I look at my fridge and I see your face on my eggs, and that's all I need to do to eat my eggs. So, Jorie,
don't let this opportunity slip you by. You've voiced your problem to the fucking world. Now have the balls to fucking make a difference.
Oh, I love you too, Jorie. You take care, okay? Take care of your crew this weekend. We'll see you.
See you, Jorie.
Bye, Jorie. Oh, I love Jorie, man. She's awesome, Johnny. Eh? Just brings it all the time.
Fun conversations. Well, and again, she always brings an amazing smile, which the world needs more of.
Yes, I agree.
The world needs more of that shit.
That positive energy, but just the way that she explains stuff, she just makes it so easily, readily available. I don't know. I'm a huge fan. So listen, I know you got to rock and roll. Let's get you out of here. I know you haven't had a pee break in a half an hour, but I know you got to reset for the day here. So let's just quickly get you out of the shop here. What do you got going on today, brother? Before you roll.
So we actually have tonight. We actually have a little dinner party. Because our neighbor who was also the surgeon for tear shoulder.
Yes.
We're having him over for a nice meal. Him and his family. So that's kind of cool. I mean, you don't often have a relationship with your surgeon where after surgery you have him over for dinner. So it's pretty cool.
What's Terry cooking tonight, brother?
I have no idea. No idea, but it'll fit into my wheelhouse. There'll be some things that I won't eat, but that's okay.
Yeah. And hey, did you go take the Jeepo yesterday? I was wondering what
she was actually not feeling well enough because her shoulders buggered a little bit, and in those settings you're getting fucking bounced around a little bit.
Of course.
So
yeah.
So she was like, so she actually, what she wanted to do was a little bit of yard work, which we have a lot of fun doing, just walking around and, primping, because we're big landscape people. Like we had this house remodeled, we brought in like 60 palm trees.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you like being outside doing some landscaping work too, eh?
I can't really say that it's just kind of the being outside, and there's a creative process to it. So I'm looking around, okay, we need to do this, we need to do that. I can't say that I really enjoy you're not going to fucking catch me sawing the fucking palm fronds off. That's for the gardener and the handyman to take care of. But kind of the tweaky, fun little stuff. I mean, it's landscaping is it's like a creative outlet, if you will.
I agree. I know that when I got the old the call from ICUC back there, Johnny, I went and gardened for a year and a half. I spent time outside. I loved it. Just wandered around. And being
having an hour where you're outside is really it's something that honestly I even have to remind myself. I go out and sit by the pool and do when I'm doing something on my phone, because we don't get outside enough in many cases.
Yeah.
If I'm riding, I'm fucking covered head to toe, so I'm not getting any sun exposure that way.
That's right.
I probably will sneak a quick dirt bike ride today before the guests come over.
Well, that's fun. Good job, buddy. All right, pal. Well, listen, I'm going to let you get out of here. Jimmy and I are going to wrap up the last 10 here with our community corner, our creator spotlight. You enjoy the day today, the loop, and we'll look forward to reconnecting in a couple of days here. Enjoy dinner tonight, brother. I know I'm going to as well. And going to have a nice weekend with the crew here, and we'll look forward to getting after it on Monday.
You got it, brother. We still need to catch up. Let's try to catch up over the weekend. Between you not feeling well, me traveling, and we keep misfiring.
Agreed. We'll make it happen.
You got it.
All right, brother. Take care.
Have a great loop.
You too. Thanks, buddy. Take care. All right. Jimmy, Johnny's getting out of here. You and me are left. It's Harold. The show always works our way towards. I get you, Benzie. I love it, man. I appreciate you hanging out with us this morning. Another great show. I agree. Here's the part where we get to the community corner, creator spotlight. Love this part of the show too. Get to celebrate other folks who are doing some great work, and we did a little thing. We did things a little differently today. We did our LinkedIn creator spotlight at the bottom of the. I guess almost about an hour ago. Actually, at the bottom of the first hour. And we're going to do it again here. And as you guys know, we are not only, here's the thing, Benzie, Reiner, good time. So we have this morning show for men. That's what we do every single day, building a community of men. That's the one business that we're building. But we're also building behind the scenes our Substack, inside the lab, how we are building this men's community. And that is one of the pillars of monetization. Maybe you're in your 40s, maybe in your 50s. Maybe you have a bunch of knowledge in your head. Maybe you're going through a career change. Maybe you're a brand new leader. You have things you want to say. Maybe, I don't know. God, how do I do it? You can do it through the power of conversation with myself. Get this product called The Exchange. You sit down with me, and I help you draw out your story, what you're selling, what makes you different. The product we have here in The Exchange. You can get that right inside of our Substack newsletter. So if you subscribe to our Substack, you're going to get behind the scenes, get a bunch of knowledge, learning about how we're doing this, right? How we're building this community, how we're showing up, how we're finding things to talk about. Listen, if you're out there on the socials, you're largely building rented audiences everywhere. So if you're out there building your Substack, you're building your newsletter, you're building your email addresses, then you can monetize that, right? So I would encourage you guys to go check out our Substack, inside.bapl.ai, inside BAPL, inside the lab. And it is a paid platform. It's full of knowledge, and it's behind the scenes access to myself and Jon and Jorie and Marty and so forth. So I would encourage you guys to check out the Substack that we have going as well, which is why we're spending more and more time celebrating humans on the Substack platform. And guys, listen, so when you look at what Substack is not only a newsletter platform, it's a publishing platform, it's a podcasting platform, it's a video platform. It's really a one-stop shop for publishing. So again, if you get your life going right now, you're looking to take that next step in your career and you're kind of just whirling around wondering what's next, I can help you get there. Life's not over if you're in your 40s and your 50s, but I'll tell you, we can help you take that knowledge in your head and bring it to life. And here's the other thing too. I'm going to offer some vulnerability. Maybe you're like me. Maybe you're in your late 40s, early 50s, and you're thinking to yourself, man, I don't like how I look in the camera because I'm looking old these days. It's okay. It's okay. We're staying away from the Botox. We're staying away from the fillers. We're going to age ourselves in front of the camera. Yeah. Using our knowledge and our experience as a way to draw people in. So I could be right there with you. Listen, I battle my own mirror from time to time as well. Actually, quite often, frankly. But hey, we show up, bring knowledge, bring value, and show others that you can do it too. Okay, Jim, let's get after our creator spotlight. We got a fellow here in the Substack community who's doing some good stuff. And I'm just looking here. I got a comment here. I see you, Walter. Yeah. No, listen, Tommy. We are not saying goodbye. No, listen. Nation, Tommy's got a bunch of things going on, and one of the things Tommy's doing is got a bunch of things happening in different worlds here, but we also got Tommy with us hanging out with us this morning as well. So I know we're not saying goodbye to Tommy. We're just saying we'll see you around, and he's in and out of the community with us. But Tommy, I appreciate you as well. Okay, Jim, I'm just going to pull up my notes here for our next creator spotlight. And let's see here. Let's pull it up there. Okay. So, look at that just popping up here on my screen. All right. Most people, maybe not all, but most people walk through life disconnected from themselves, from others, from the truth. They follow the script. They say to themselves, well, but that's what's expected of me. That's what they're doing. That's what they're telling me to do. That's what society is saying. So I guess that's what I should be doing as well. They put on the costume. They play the role. Maybe it's cosplay, but they play the role. And yet they wonder why their relationships feel surface level. Why they avoid the hard conversations. Why they feel unseen, unheard, and alone, even in a room full of people. This fellow who we're going to celebrate saw this. And instead of accepting it, he started questioning it, looking around, questioning. This guy's a human connection specialist. Kind of like us here in the lab. We connect men. That's the biggest morning show, biggest men's network on LinkedIn. But this guy is a human connection specialist, a writer, a speaker, and a coach who dives deep into the psychology of relationships, communication, and human systems. This dude, he's obsessed with understanding. Why do we repeat the same cycles? Why do we struggle with real connection? What does it take to break free and actually live, love, and lead differently? So Jimmy, let's get him set up, brother. Through his Substack, Humanizing with Boom Boom, he's not just about talking about connection. This guy's redefining it. So this morning, Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends is really excited to introduce all of you to Jimmy, Mark Groves. Through his Substack newsletter, Humaning with Mark Groves, he's not just talking about connection. No, Mark is redefining it, because connection isn't just about love. It's about how we show up in every relationship: family, friends, teams, communities. Mark's work forces you to get real about your patterns, your blind spots, and what it actually takes to build deep, meaningful human connections. So this morning, on behalf of myself, Jimmy, Marty, Johnny, and the entire team here at Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends, Mark Groves, we are celebrating you, my friend. We're celebrating you and celebrating the great work you're doing with Humaning with Mark Groves, the Substack newsletter you need to subscribe to that talks about connection and how he's redefining it. Mark, here's how it works, brother. We're celebrating you here today. We'd love to invite you onto the show so that you could take the old big Mornings in the Lab light, whirling it up, and celebrating somebody in your orbit so we can be introduced to somebody that works with you or somebody that you like and bring them here on the show at Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. Man, just talking all over the place with my hands here today. That's it, Jimmy. There we go. Wow. Mark. Huh? Woo. Big show. Oh, take a deep breath. Big show wrapped up. The loop here, the 5 days of our loop, done. Listen, guys, coming into another month next week. Tomorrow, March 1st. What's also happening is we're 10 days coming towards our 1 year anniversary with Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. March 11th, 2024, we turned this baby on. I showed up and nobody showed up with me and Nicole Bernard at the time. But now, oops, it's funny. I did the old cough thing there thinking that I muted myself, but actually changed cameras. Yeah, sorry about that. Coughing in your ear. Coming up, March 11th, the 1 year anniversary of our show. Those of you that keep tuning in, I appreciate all of you guys. So listen, I remind you, subscribe to our channel, Mornings Live with Keith and Friends, the only morning show for men, our men's community. And hey, we got the supers, we got we got a bunch of things happening on the YouTube channel here. So you guys can subscribe to things on there. I think there's $3 a month, $20 a month, $30 a month. There's a bunch of things happening within the Mornings in the Lab community you guys can be a part of over there. But like I said earlier, if you're a creator, maybe you're not a creator. Maybe you're a CEO. Maybe you're a business guy who knows that he needs to have a conversation. He knows that he's got a story to tell. He knows he's a thought leader. But what you're doing is you're struggling to get it out. You're scared. You're fearful of getting in front of the camera. You're fearful of talking to one person. I can help you. So can Jimmy. So can everybody on this show. Check out our Substack, InsideBapple.ai, the only place to help you build your Substack, build your community, and become the voice through the power of conversation. Doesn't have to be sexy, the power of conversation. Okay, so listen, we're going to wrap the show up here today. Another great week of conversations. And there's my puppy coming to get me here this morning. It's funny. Every time our show's over, she knows when I'm done talking. And she makes her way down here to say, hey, Dad, I'm coming to see you. Mom's left for work, and I see you're still here. Can you help me out? So I'm going to make my way from here outside with Lola. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get back after it. Some post-production happening. And we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys on Monday here, Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends, 8 o'clock Eastern time, LinkedIn, X, YouTube. Oh, we're on Twitch as well. Yeah, true story. You can find all of our content across all the platforms as well when the show's over. So I invite you, come check out me, come subscribe to my channel, come say hello. And listen, if you guys need help, if you need help building your next voice, if you need help building your community, if you need help moving yourself and your personal brand forward, do it through your story here in the lab, in the exchange. All right, Jimmy, I'm getting out of here. Shall I do the old steps thing like I did last time too? Just or do I just get the hell out of here? I'm waiting for Jimmy to say something here. He's just busy being mute today. Jimmy, are you mute today or are you talking? Oh, there we go. All right, on behalf of Jimothy, the ultimate producer, making him famous in the Philippines, I'm your host. I'm Keith Bilous. On behalf of Johnny, on behalf of Marty, on behalf of the whole crew that showed up here today, including Jorie, Amy, good time, Benzie, appreciate you guys. Listen, remember the wheelbarrow. The wheelbarrow is what you want to pull out if you're looking to, if you're born in March or April. Jimmy, let's get out of here. We'll see you guys Monday, mornings in the lab.